Good morning, friends. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Julie. I am a homeschooling mom of 5, and once in a while, I like to take you guys along and just show kind of more in depth what a homeschool day in the life looks like. Now, to start off, my older kids are getting older and they're getting more independent, and I've been waiting for this day for them to get a little bit more independent and kind of choose to start school in their own time. So we start school as a group at 9 o'clock. And I've told them many times, if you guys want to start before 9, sorry, they're really loud right now. If you guys want to start school earlier, you can pull out your language arts, you can pull out your writing, you can start on your math. There are things that you guys can do before we start school as a group. And so the last few weeks, that's what they've been doing. So my older 2 kids, first thing this morning, even before breakfast, were sitting at the table and they were doing their language arts. My oldest 2 also practice the piano in the morning before we start school. But right now, it is just after 9 and we are done breakfast. We're done our morning chores. We are getting started a little bit late this morning, but the kids we're about to get started with our group subjects to start the day. We always start our school days watching World Watch News. Now everyone's sitting here waiting for me. I was a little bit late getting started this morning. So, got my coffee. Okay, everybody's ready? We got our Faithopedia books out. We do a bit of an every other day schedule, so Mondays and Wednesdays, we start our days with Bible time, and Tuesdays and Thursdays, we do read aloud time. So today we're starting with Bible time. We're doing this Old Testament Faithopedia. This is by Not Consumed. And we are in the middle of learning about Nehemiah. And so this book, if I can do it one-handed, maybe it's not the best one-handed thing. Thanks, son. Okay, it just stands up super nicely like that. And so you guys, the word we're learning about today is mediator. Have you ever had someone ask another person or question for you? So in your Bible books, you're going to want to put that word mediator. Maybe you can relate to some of the situations in the book of Nehemiah. The people need to rebuild. The city of Jerusalem is in ruins, and so are many of the Israelites' hearts toward God. The people continue to fall away and make bad decisions. As Nehemiah serves as an intercessor for the people, he helps to rebuild the city and prays for the people to be reconciled back to God. How did Old Testament people show their faith in God?
They showed their faith by offering sacrifices on God's altar.
What did their sacrifices represent?
Their sacrifices represented Christ, the Lamb of God, who had come to die for sinners.
Now the kids who have not done language arts yet are starting on doing their language arts. We do the Good and the Beautiful language arts. But on the topic of language arts, today's video is sponsored by Night Zookeeper, and so I'm going to be talking a little bit about Night Zookeeper and how we use that in our homeschool as well. At this point in the school year, we tend to hit this mid-year slump, and Night Zookeeper can bring some excitement back into our learning. Night Zookeeper is a language arts curriculum, a full language arts curriculum for kids ages 6 through 12. With my link, you can get a 7-day free trial to Night Zookeeper as well as 50% off an annual subscription. Night Zookeeper makes language arts so fun and engaging. My kids, especially Charity, I find really enjoys going and just doing some of these writing projects. She enjoys creative writing and coming up with her own stories. And this program really improves your children's language arts skills, including spelling, grammar, vocabulary, writing, composition, all the moving parts. And they can learn independently through these skill games and the interactive lessons. Your child will also receive personalized feedback on all of their written work. What are you writing about today? A day in the life of Sunny siblings.
Isn't this thing?
Oh, those are your rules. Use the adjective beautiful, the adjective brave, and more than 40 words. Okay, let's see what you can come up with. Zara is still working on her Bible notebook because she started this nice drawing, so I'm letting her finish that. She, in her own time this morning, got out Explode the Code, which is another, it's like a phonics curriculum. It's great for reinforcing like spelling rules and phonics, and she really enjoys that. But I told her we still need to do language arts too. So she did Explode the Code. We're gonna get into language arts in a second with her. Wesley wanted to do a little sewing activity this morning. Simeon, you're just finishing up your language arts. What are you learning about today in language arts? This language arts by the Good and the Beautiful, it's mostly independent. The kids do need some assistance sometimes. Okay, so did you read this poem?
Yep.
And now write a complete sentence for each of the following prepositional phrases. You're gonna write a sentence too though, right? Do you see that?
I didn't know that.
Okay, so instead of just like guessing what you're supposed to do, you need to read what it says. Write a complete sentence for each of the following prepositional phrases. So you could say, at the park, starting with the capital A, at the park, comma, we played on the swings. But you don't need to start your sentences with the prepositional phrase. You could say, we went on the swings at the park, okay? So it's very important for you to read the instructions before just guessing what you're supposed to do. So make each of those into a sentence. Sometimes we have a lot going on at once, so we're finishing up some language arts here. I'm gonna give Elijah a spelling test. Let me show you. This is the curriculum I'm doing with Elijah for spelling. Spelling Power. This is an old curriculum. When I was being homeschooled, this is what I used for spelling. It's just a very basic, your classic spelling list. So Elijah has a list of about, is it 7 or 8 words? He's been practicing this week, so I'm gonna give him a spelling test today. I also slipped my apron on because I am starting some sourdough bread. So I'm gonna be kind of mixing that dough as I give him a spelling test. I also need to help Zara with her language art. It's a little bit parent-led still at her level. Elijah, your first word is directly. Did you hand your homework directly to your teacher? Directly. The letter combination E-A-R can make the sound ear as in hear, as in heard, air as in pear, or R as in heart. There are no rules to help you to remember which of these sounds the letters E-A-R make, so you will need to memorize these words. Reading a lot helps. So I'd like you to read, Zara, the words on those 3 rows. Mom? Okay, the bread is mixed. Oh, I did not wipe the table very well, did I? The bread is mixed. Language arts is just about done here. Wesley is getting into his writing. So this was yesterday's page. Now you're doing this page. Can you read that for me?
Okay, we got on one bus.
That's the word our.
Bus.
We get on our bus.
We read.
So the I is going to say its name here.
Ride.
We ride. Good.
We get off.
That's right. So now you're going to print that as neatly as you can, and then you can color this picture. And hey, on this school bus, you can see all the kids. That's fun. Is that a forwards S or a backwards S?
Backwards.
Let's redo that one.
Just don't redo the dot.
Okay.
That's what I did.
What is that dot called? Do you remember?
A period.
A period. Much better. Good work. Now I am getting into our Gather Round curriculum. So this is the Ancient Civilizations unit that we are studying right now. This is the teacher's guide. So I have my portion that I read each day. And then the kids each have notebooks. Oh, Wesley or Simeon, did you pass this to me to check too? I will check this language arts after. The kids each have notebooks where they write stuff down too. I'll show you that in a minute, but I'm just gonna start reading while you guys get your books opened and ready. What? Oh, very good. Okay, let's leave behind the dusty sands of Mesopotamia and travel across the sapphire blue expanse of the Mediterranean toward Greece. The first evidence that an ancient culture had lived on the tiny island of Crete was not found dug up beneath the ground, but was spotted hanging around the necks of modern-day islanders. I'm still in the middle of reading our lesson. I actually just have one page left, but I usually pause partway through and just kind of see how the kids are doing. So this is Wesley's book here. Wesley has the pre-reader book. He does not do this daily. I print it up for him, and here and there he'll do a coloring page or something. But hold on, he doesn't do it every day. So Wesley, remember how we talked about bull jumping? Okay, so you can color that picture if you'd like today. And each of the other kids have a different level book. So Simeon and Charity both have the upper elementary book. Zara has what is yours? Early elementary. And we need to put these away. So, importance of the bull jumping and minotaurs. Can you think of something to write about bull jumping? We just read about that.
Okay.
Go get out some markers or something.
I do.
Or your pencil crayons. Yeah, perfect. So the Simeon and Charity's books are just a little bit more in depth, the answers they need to write down. And then for Elijah's page, what are you grinning about?
Nothing.
Elijah has the middle school level, but all I've printed up for Elijah are the notebooking pages. So the other kids, I've printed up this whole curriculum because Elijah does some separate science on the side and more like spelling and stuff. All he does each day is listen to my reading and then he writes something down. This history lesson is a little bit heavier. You know, some units we've done, like we've done living off the land, we've done what other units have we done, guys? The continent units, farming and food, yeah, that are a little bit easier. These ones are a little bit heavier for the younger kids to think of something to like write down about what they learned. Sometimes we do watch videos to go along with the lesson to kind of reinforce what I read about, to kind of just make it make sense, make it make a little bit more sense to them. And so for their notebooks, the kids' notebooks, there are about usually 4 or 5 work pages to go along with each lesson. And in some of the other units that are a little bit lighter, I will have them do most, if not all, of the notebooking pages. But through this unit, I've actually just been getting them to do about 2 pages. They usually do the notebooking page, and I get them to do just one other page in their workbooks. Let's read. I really should move this bouquet of flowers, Elijah, because I cannot see you. You can use pastels later to draw a picture. Okay, is everybody ready to listen up? I literally have one more page to read, so let's just listen up. As the Minoans built their palaces, strolled their beaches, and cheered at bull jumping events, they had no idea what simmered beneath their feet. Across the sea from Crete, another civilization had come to power called the Mycenaeans. They were best known for their sea-based trade and economy. So you have a section where you're talking about the Mycenaeans. This is what you need to be listening to. They were also hungry for conquest, launching their powerful vessels into the Mediterranean waters for both trade as well as war. Just checking Charity's page here. Okay, for our second page, we won't do that one. Archaeology, weather, and the Trojan horse. Hold on. Let's do the page about archaeology. So you have something to read here, and then you're just gonna fill in the bottom of the page. That's the only other thing you guys have to do, and then we will we'll go outside. We're done the bulk of our morning school now. So all we have left for the morning is math, but at this point the kids always go outside for a nice long play, and then sometimes they come in time to do math before lunch. Sometimes they don't, and they end up doing math after lunch. So they have to go outside for like a mandatory 30 minutes. I'm like, you guys need 30 minutes of exercise and fresh air. And then sometimes if the weather's nicer, they'll stay out for longer. And I don't usually call them in until lunch is ready. So if they stay out for 45 minutes, an hour, I'm fine with that, and we'll just finish school later in the afternoon. What I find, especially, well, in the winter months, so when it's cold and the kids have to bundle up to go outside, usually they go out once and that's it. They don't usually go out again in the afternoon. So I just feel like the longer they want to stay outside, the better. I'm not going to shorten their outside play because once they come in again, they're probably not going back out. So we'll see how long this takes, but I feel like it's been a pretty busy morning of just, there's been a lot of household tasks I need to do as well as homeschooling. So it's been, I don't know. I feel like we've just been a little bit off this morning. We also had a late night last night, so the kids just seem a little bit tired, a little bit off. They're outside and I need to get some bills paid. I need to get some more stretch and folds done on my bread. I need to do lunch prep. Some days I do go outside to get some fresh air too. I'll probably at least step outside and just stand out there for a little bit, ground, and just get a little fresh air myself. But I do have a bunch of stuff to do inside as well that I need to get to. Charity is in to do her math. So we do teaching textbooks math. Once the kids reach grade 3, we switch over to teaching textbooks math. You'll see what Wesley for kindergarten does for his math. Whenever it is that he makes it inside. Actually, it's probably going to be after lunch that he gets to it. Elijah is doing his math over here. He also does teaching textbooks. And you guys, I am grateful for this curriculum because I'm looking at this right now. So quickly, it gets to the point that I'm like, oh, wait a second. I would need to review to be at pre-algebra, I can't talk, for his grade 8 math. I got out leftovers for lunch today, so I just pulled some of these buns out of the freezer. I had some leftover tuna spread in the fridge. I took a couple of these naan breads out of the fridge. Simeon is my lunch helper. He's going to butter those. We'll dip them in hummus. We also have some leftover carrots here, sugar snap peas. Oh, I forgot. I thought I took out the cherry tomatoes. Oh, they ended up back there. Wesley just pulled out his math and he wanted me to help him. And I told him yesterday, Wesley, we have a big new thing to learn today. I don't know about teaching subtraction at the same time as I work on making lunch, but if Simeon can be pretty independent here for a little bit, I can help him get started. Okay, you're gonna need your blocks for this. So what we're doing in this lesson is learning something called subtraction or taking away. So what we'll do here, so here's their example one, okay? You're gonna need blocks for this one. So here's a 6 block, and we're doing 6 minus 2.
4.
So here's what we do. We take a 6, we take your 2, put it upside down like this, okay? And what do we have left?
4. It's 4.
It's 4. 6 minus 2 equals
4.
Now what blocks do you think we need for this one? Do you have a pencil? Did your pencil go away? Oh, here's your pencil case. Grab a pencil out. And then what do we have left? 8 minus 3. It's what?
5.
Good job. Yeah, great. I think I forgot to take a 5 block out. What color is the 5 block? Oh, it's the light blue one. There's one right there. Okay, but write your number. 8 minus 3 equals?
5.
Excellent. Do you think you can do the next one on your own without my help? Okay, Wesley finished his first page of subtraction. Let's see how he did. 8 minus 3 is 5. 4 minus 1 is 3. And 4 minus 3 is 1. Wesley, awesome. Give me a high five. Great work. Oh, good job. Good job. Okay, this, by the way, is the Math You See primer level, so the kindergarten level. And awesome work on your first page of subtraction.
The one I saw.
Now this is the same thing, only it doesn't show your blocks anymore. It just shows your numbers. So you're going to get out a 4 block and then minus 1. 4 take away 1 is... You already know without blocks? Wesley. Okay, what about this one? 5 take away 3.
2.
Wesley, Good job.
It's so easy.
Oh my goodness. And I was worried about not having time to teach you subtraction. And you just basically already know it.
Because those are so easy for me.
All right, forwards 2. Good work. We're just sitting down to eat lunch, and often at lunchtime, we like to listen to an audiobook, and so I just have the Everand app open, and we're currently listening to Adventure Awaits by Karen Kingsbury. And you know, this just keeps everybody nice and quiet. All that beeping, does that mean it's 1 o'clock? It does. It's 1 o'clock, you guys. Okay, our morning went on a little bit long, but when we listen to audiobooks, for one, the kids love it. And sometimes after a busy morning of like go, 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 and like lots of talking and lots of, just lots going on, it's nice to just have a quiet, peaceful lunch, and that's what audiobooks do for us. Everybody just sits and eats, and we listen. After lunch, the kids work together to get the kitchen cleaned up. Elijah washes dishes, Charity sweeps the kitchen floor, Zara is drying dishes, and Simeon is over in the other room. He's doing his teaching textbooks now. And then when he's done, Zara will do her teaching textbooks. I was just coming over here thinking, I think he's doing teaching textbooks. He better be. So he does his math here on the iPad. How's it going?
Good.
You'll call me if you need any help?
Yep.
Alrighty. We do leave time for just free time like this where everyone's just getting along, playing well together. Mostly. I haven't heard much fighting, yeah?
Yeah. Well,
you probably should be doing math in a different room because this looks very distracting. You don't think so?
yeah. Why do you bring your
Okay. Well, Wesley. I love that you've just had your toque on ever since playing outside. Does your head feel nice and warm? We need to do your reading. I think we're going to do Let's Find a Bob book to read today. What we're doing for reading, we are still working through Teach Your Child to Read in 100 Easy Lessons. I reached this point, or each of my kids reaches this point. These kids need haircuts. Have you noticed my boy's hair is all so crazy? We're getting haircuts tomorrow.
Yay.
But we reach this point with Teach Your Child to Read in 100 Easy Lessons where it's just, I'm going to show you what lesson Wesley is at right now. So he is at this part of the book. He's reading, you know, these words, they're getting pretty big. And then lesson 63, that's right. He's reading stories that are this long. So even though he can read all of this, this is so much reading all in one sitting. You know, for a 5-year-old, that's just a big chunk of reading to do. So when we do this, we will go like, Wesley will read a sentence, I'll read a sentence, Wesley will read a sentence, I'll read a sentence, but he gets like pretty tired of it by the end. And so we kind of take breaks from doing reading lessons and do our Bob books instead. Bob books are just nice and short, simple stories. And it just, you know, it's just not as big of a chunk of reading, and it just feels doable for him.
It's really fun.
And they're really fun. Do you really like them? Okay, would you like to read this book to everybody then so they can hear how well you're doing on your reading? First, what is the book called?
Max.
That doesn't say Max. Read it again. You're just guessing because you think that's a nice name.
I just have to thought it said Max.
Okay, what does it actually say?
Mac.
Mac. That's right. All right, let's start the book.
If there's an X at the end, it'd be Max.
That's true.
Had a bug.
What is the vowel sound?
A bag.
So read the whole sentence again.
Max had a bag.
Mac had a bag. Good.
Bug is fun Boy.
Hmm. Next word.
Muff.
Yeah.
Bluff. And math.
Good. And what does the last page say?
The end.
Good. Okay. We read 2 books. Listening to a kindergartner read always feels like quite the act of patience.
This one, and
It can take a little while to make it through a little book. But he made it through 2. All right. Put that book into... What? Also, I was sitting beside him here going, why are your feet so chubby? He has 3 pairs of socks on each feet, he told me. On each foot. I can use proper grammar here. 3 socks on each foot. What in the world, you silly. Okay, your Bob book. Into the Bob book case. Put that in the drawer where it belongs. And then you're gonna go have a quiet time. Zara, you need to go grab your reading book and go for your quiet time. It is, pardon me? You need to get a new reading book. Okay, go look up on the shelf up there. I don't know if there are any books up there that you haven't read yet. That would be good for you. Do you wanna go upstairs to the bookshelf and find an I Survived book or a Who Was book? We have tons of those to pick from. Would you like to do that? Okay, you go run and choose which one you want to read and then come down and show me. It's like 5 minutes to 2 right now, so we're really right on track. 2 o'clock is usually when everyone goes for reading time. Zara didn't do math yet today, and I don't quite know, I don't know. That never happens. Like, they always get math done by this time, but somehow it just, I don't know, it didn't work out. So she's gonna have to do math a little bit later. Elijah's about to do science here, but Charity, Simeon, Zara, Wesley, they all, 2 o'clock, it's quiet reading time. Elijah would actually do reading time right now, but he got up early this morning and did his reading first thing, so he's done. So, knowing that they're all in their own spaces, like in their rooms, sitting quietly and reading, it gives me like an hour of quiet time myself. They only have to read, they read for about half an hour each, and then they can just quietly play, but it's usually 3 o'clock when I tell them it's okay to come back down here. So it gives me an hour to just get some other stuff done. Okay, I survived the Battle of D-Day 1944. You can do you want to bring some toys upstairs? You're really into this kitchen stuff right now. Okay, take the book and pick some toys to bring upstairs, but I do want you to spend, hey, look at your watch and spend 30 minutes spend 30 minutes reading your book. Yes?
Does that mean like a whole chapter?
No, more than a whole chapter. Or you can do, let's do 2 chapters.
Okay.
2 chapters of that book, okay? Elijah's last subject of the day, he's doing his science, and Elijah, can I just show what your curriculum is? Can I just show the front of it? Yep. It's the Apologia Exploring Creation with General Science. So this is the student notebook, this big old notebook. So he kind of keeps notes on here. And we ordered it's sitting in the computer here, the thumb drive that, it's this woman. Oh, did I just touch it? Seriously?
No, it's fine, I'm done.
I'm sorry. Okay. Anyway, on this, I'm sorry about that. I must have just like barely unplugged it. This woman teaches the lessons, and so Elijah watches as she teaches. She does some of the experiments and such. So he's just finishing that up. And that really is our homeschool day. It's hard to show you guys every part of our school days. Especially the older kids are, you know, doing their own things, and there's often a lot going on at once. There's a lot of moving parts. And so sometimes, like actually including everything, you know, I don't actually get to include every part of our school day. So this is about typical. It's about 2:30 when the kids are really done their school day. We absolutely could do it in a shorter amount of time if we just focused on school. No long lunch break, no outside playtime. You know, if I just gave the kids, okay, you have 10 minutes to have a little break. Okay, you have 20 minutes to eat your lunch and back to school. We could do that, but I have no desire to. We kind of just fit school into the rest of our day and everything else that happens in our days, and I love to give the kids a big outside playtime in the middle of the day. And so this is typically when our school day is ending. Zara still is going to do math this afternoon. I have to teach Charity a piano lesson this afternoon. But that's it. Lots of free time for the rest of the afternoon, and I'm going to close this video. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed getting a little view into our homeschool days. Again, make sure you check out Night Zookeeper. We don't do it daily, but whenever the kids get a chance to do some educational screen time, Night Zookeeper is one of their favorites. And I will have all that info linked down below where you can try the free trial and get 50% off of your subscription. Is there anything else, Simeon? Did I miss anything?
No.
Anything at all? Okay, then we'll close this. We'll see you guys next time.
Bye.